Mr. President, the first question, what efforts are you deploying to develop athletics in Africa?
Well, the major initiatives, of course, are being driven by the African Federation through President Kalkaba. But what the IAAF can do is to help with marketing, it can help advise on television, it can support extra competitions, it can certainly support their ambitions, Africa's ambitions to stage World Athletics Championships. We can certainly do what we can to improve the quality of our one-day meetings around the world so that more young people, including more young people in Africa, want to be involved in athletics. So there's a lot that we can work in collaboration with.
Okay. President, will the 2023 World Athletics Championship be held in Africa?
I don't know, because that will be for my council to make a decision about any bids that we receive from Africa and elsewhere in the world. But I've been very clear that in my presidency, I want to see, and will do everything I can to support, the World Athletics Championships coming to this continent. It's a continent that has given given much to the history of our sport.
Is there any chance that Morocco will someday host the World Championships?
Well, look, if we look in Africa, and I'm not being specific about a date because that's, you know, there's 23, 25, and, you know, we know where we go. We know that in 2019 we are in Qatar, we know that in 2021 we are in America, so it's post that. But if you look at Africa, and you look at the quality of the events that Africa is now beginning to deliver to the world, we had the World Cross Country Championships in Uganda, we had Kenya staging the World Youth Championships. Yes, we have a fantastic Diamond League meeting in Morocco, and we've had championships here before. Next year we have the African Track and Field Championships in Nigeria. Ethiopia organises a huge participation run, and South Africa is delivering great athletes now to our sport. So Africa has a choice. It's not for me, as the president of the IAAF, to make that decision. That has to be made in Africa, but we will support African ambitions.
President, Africa loses many naturalized athletes. What is the IAAF doing to stop this African talent exit?
I've frozen the rules. So until we come back to the Council with a fresh set of proposals that deals with many of the issues, many of the issues that Africa has expressed concern to me about, then we remain without any transfers. That's it.
The athletics is unfortunately tainted by doping. Are you to erase the world records and start again at zero, like the proposition of the European Fédération?
Athletics look, doping is an international global problem, and it's not just one that we have in our own sport. I think athletics should be proud about the way we have dealt with these challenges in the last few years. We've done more than any other sport to do that. And the European proposal to cancel European records is something that my council, maybe in the next few months, maybe next year, will discuss. But it's at this moment it's only a European proposal. It is not a global proposal. For it to become a global, initiative, then it has to be discussed within the council, and that may be some months. Europe is still doing some work on this area.
How do you assess Morocco's efforts in the fight against doping?
I've been very comforted by the approach from His Majesty down. It was made very clear that Morocco was no longer prepared to tolerate this influence. I know His Majesty has spoken about it and has put his force and power behind dealing with this. President Ouzine has been very forthright in his opposition and many of the measures, and the situation in Morocco has improved dramatically.
President, do you think that the readjustment of the statutes of the African Confederation will introduce more good governance in Africa?
Yes. Yes, it
Why?
will. Because their governance changes have been around three key areas. One, how do you make decisions and how do you make them transparently? Two, how do you maintain and encourage good people to want to be part of our administration? And thirdly, how do we, from those two propositions, evolve, grow the sport? And that's exactly the philosophy that underpinned our proposals, our reforms last year in Monaco.
Morocco has organized for a few years a stage of the Diamond League. What do you think of this stage at the level of the organization?
It's very good. It's very good. I will be attending the Diamond League next year here, but I saw the video of it this time. The racing was of a very high quality, very good organisation, very good integration with other services, and very, very competitive athletes.